Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the Fish Room. My name is Travis and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be doing a 3-month update on the 300-gallon Reef. Now this isn't 3 months since I started the Reef tank. If you guys have been here for a while, this tank has been out for probably 6 years, something like that. We've done multiple overhauls on this tank. We've removed rock structures, removed fish. There's about 1,000 videos and probably 700 of them are on the 300 or in this fish room alone. So check those out if you want to kind of see the life and the progress of this reef over those years. But overall, it's been 3 months since we started our new method of reefing. Now, if you missed that video, I will put it in the description or the comment section, one or the other. And basically in that video, it was at the beginning of the year, I was talking about a new method of reefing. I wanted to simplify reefing. I wanted to basically take the load off my shoulders and just let the tank kind of do its own thing and just see what happens. Now, what did that involve? I went ahead and I got rid of Fritz salt, not because of the method, but just because of the price. I went back to the purple box, or basically the standard instant ocean salt, the stuff that I started with all those years ago. I went back to that. I also stopped dosing about 90% of the supplements, Aquatics fuel, potassium, all these other supplements. And I just stuck with my AcroPower and my Eco Balance. Now, as you guys know, I do like to make my own fish food, so there is a little small amount of Aquatics fuel within that fish food, as well as AcroPower, but it's nothing crazy, and it's probably not going to make a huge difference to the reef tank given how much I feed, right? So with that, that's basically sums up that video. If you want more in depth, go ahead and check it out. But overall, I just stopped dosing because, one, I wanted to save the money. As with everything, the price of reefing has kind of gone through the roof with salt, equipment, and then you know, supplements are also going up pretty good. You know, it's unfortunate how expensive things have gotten. So with that, I wanted to basically try it out on my reef tank because there's a lot of you guys that are just getting into the hobby that started following the channel, and if I can do it with just instant ocean and some very basic like AcroPower or basic fish food and still grow corals and still have good coloration, that means that you can do it too, and you don't have to spend all that money. So that's kind of the whole point of that. And now it's been about 3 months. If we're being technical, it's been 2 months and 26 days, but we're gonna round up to 3 months just for the sake of the video. So with that, let's go ahead and talk about some of the changes that I've noticed. Now, right off the bat, if you guys have seen the last video, the coralline algae growth is off the charts. It's like, it's insane. Like, this whole back wall is completely covered, and it's kind of, you know, not as much over here, but it might just because of the angle, the lighting. But either way, the coralline growth, not only on the back, but on the bottom glass has taken off. There's a ton of coralline algae. Don't really know why that is. My alkalinity, if we're going to be honest here, I'm barely pushing 8. It almost never gets to 8. Now, of course, I could adjust my calcium reactor, but the tank is happy at like 7.5 to 8, so I'm just going to leave it alone. Now, I know a lot of people are like, gotta be 9, 5, 10, you want to have that higher stuff for pH, all that good stuff. I'm fine. The pH is stable, about 8, 8.1, and that's with the CO2 scrubber attachment, and that's with the calcium reactor and calc washer. So I'm doing pretty good, but overall, the coralline algae has just exploded. And again, and with that, of course, I had to dial up my calcium reactor to compensate for the alkalinity consumption. But overall, that's the biggest change that I've noticed over the last 3 months is just the sheer amount of coralline algae that is growing on the back wall. I mean, even just down here, this chunk is just, there's a ton of it. Yeah, on a side note, I have to get another wet or dry side MP40 because it fell off into the refugium and killed itself, so I have to get another one of those. I think I mentioned that in a previous video. Oops, tripping over stuff. But either way, yeah, coralline algae has taken off. Now, when it comes to coloration of corals, everything seems to be about the same, for the exception of the purple, or sorry, the red Monty, which looks orange on the filter. It's not orange, I promise you, it's red. That has gotten a lot more vibrant, as well as the pearlberry acro, which again is kind of hard to see on the filter here, but that's gotten extremely bright over the last 3 months. Now, nutrients have been pretty consistent. I haven't really changed anything. Sorry about the movement of the camera. I haven't really changed anything. It's pretty consistent. I'm at about 10 to 15 ppm of nitrates, and I'm at about 0.7 to 0.115 of phosphate. So there is still a little bit of fluctuation, but there's no bottoming out. Nothing crazy like that. And again, I'm feeding consistently my homemade fish food as well as my nori, and I am also dosing about 40 milliliters a day of nitrates, my own nitrogen supplement or nitrate supplement that I make. So that stuff's on an auto doser, and I'm staying pretty consistent. And with that, I think the coloration is, again, staying consistent, for the exception that those 2 corals have kind of popped over the last 3 months with the current changes. Now, with that, I haven't done an ICP test yet. That's the next thing I'm going to do. I'm going to wait to the 5-month mark, so we're going to do 2 more months, and then I'm going to send out an ICP test, because I figured, hey, that's plenty of time for the tank to completely adjust and go from there. And with that, we'll kind of see where everything's balancing out. We'll see where our potassium is, we'll see where our iodine is, we'll see where all those elements are, just simply based on the water changes with the Instant Ocean purple box. We'll see where things are standing, and at that point, hypothetically, let's just say that we do our ICP test and we notice that our potassium is low. Say it's like 200. I doubt it, but let's just say that it's at like 200. Well, at that point, I will start dosing potassium according to the ICP test, and get to where we need to get, and then I'll stop dosing it and continue the salt water, just the standard water changes that I'm doing. And then when we do our next ICP test, if I find that it's still dropping, then maybe I'll consider bringing it back on for continual use, and it's just going to be one of those supplements that I'll have to keep using. Now, that's just hypothetically. We'll see what happens based on what we get back for ICP results. But at this point, everything is growing very well. Coloration is looking, looking good. I don't really have any complaints, except for some stuff is starting to get shaded. Corals are starting to touch again, but hey, it's a reef tank. It's kind of one of those things we're going to have to deal with. But besides the fact that I don't have my 4th pillar, if you guys remember, we had the 4th pillar. I really took that pillar for granted. It allowed me to have a lot more coral in this tank, and unfortunately, with it being gone, there is more room, but I'm missing about 50 more acros that I could actually have. So that's just a side note there. But yeah, so with the current changes, 2 corals are looking a lot better. We're having more coralline algae. Polyp extension is good. Growth is consistent. We're not getting any major dips in alkalinity consumption or anything like that, so that means growth is consistent. Lighting, if you guys, just a refresher for what we got lighting here. And shout out to Kessel real quick. 2 of my A360Xs started having a problem. One of them kept blinking for some reason, then the other one, some diodes burn out. And I reached out to customer service, and they sent me 2 lights, no issues. And this isn't, I've had issues in the past, but nothing crazy, right? There's always going to be issues with lighting. But they just took care of it right away, and they're really helpful. So shout out to them. Now, when it comes to lighting for this tank, we have our A360Xs on each side, as well as 2 AP9Xs. We have T5 bulbs, Aquatic Life. We have 2 purple plus, 2 blue plus, and then we have our Reef Bright blue strip. So there's quite a bit of light over this tank. Right now, the Kessels are currently at about 60%. And we're getting about 200 to 300 par at the bottom glass. So everything else is pretty decent on the way up. Now, one thing I also want to start doing once we get a really good kind of base reading of what our tank is doing. So after the first ICP test, 5 months in, the tank is doing pretty well. I kind of want to drop the lighting down just a little bit to see if we can make the corals a little bit darker. Now, that does come with a cost of sacrificing some growth, because one thing I've known with selling coral and growing coral over the last, 7-8 years now, higher par does increase the growth, but you do sacrifice some coloration with that. Now, granted that the frag tanks are doing pretty well. They're kind of full at the moment. I haven't got around to putting a ton of coral on the website yet. That's just a future thing for me. But with that, I can afford to kind of cut the lighting back just to see if we can increase the coloration just a little bit with that sacrifice of growth. And we'll kind of play it by ear after that. I say we as in like me, and I have like there's like 10 of us down here. To be honest, it's just me and like my 4 personalities, depending on what day it is. So when I say we, that's what I mean. It's not like I have anybody down here with me. So all jokes aside, other than that, I know this doesn't really have anything to do with the coral, but fish aggression is really good. I know that's not really anything to do with the current changes, but everybody's happy. Now, I do want to add some more fish to the tank. Some of you guys are saying, hey, you don't really have enough fish in the tank. It seems kind of empty. I do agree, and then I don't agree. I think when it comes to tangs and larger fish, I think I'm good. But I do want to add some smaller fish. Like I would love to throw in probably 5 to 10 more of these little blue-green chromis. Those would be pretty nice. Maybe another one of the convict damsels. I really like them. They get pretty big too. Pretty decent size. Maybe throw in another wrasse, maybe a couple more clowns. I don't know. One of my favorite fish, this little lightning dude here, a little lightning damsel, I believe it is. Here, look over here, so I can get a side shot. He's like, nah, I'm good. So I definitely want to add more fish to this tank, but they're not going to be tangs, and I'm just going to keep tripping over stuff. So apologize for that. So maybe 15 or 20 more fish, some smaller ones, just to kind of fill in the gaps. Because right now I do have 3 hippos in here. The tang aggression is good. I know Big Blue used to be a problem. He's pretty chill now that the eel ate about half the fish in this tank. So, which by the way, the eel's no longer in here. And so I don't really want to disrupt that balance of tang aggression. I think we're good. So I don't really want to throw one in here and sacrifice the health of everybody else and, you know, take that risk. So I think some smaller fish would be good. Maybe 15, 20, some smaller ones. And I think that will be decent for the tank. So let me know what you guys think about that. But either way, everything's doing good. I'm happy with it, and I'm looking forward to kind of seeing what happens in the next couple months. Downside-wise, there really isn't anything. I think Instant Ocean is a little bit dirtier than Mix compared to to Fritz, but it's nothing crazy. The barrel just rinse it out. It's really not an issue. I haven't had any kind of crazy buildup. So it's outside of that. I think Reef Crystals is a little bit dirtier than just the standard Instant Ocean, and is still, you know, and then we have Fritz that's a little bit cleaner, but that's about it. I think downside-wise, that's about it. And again, it's not really impacting the tank negatively, at least not, you know, outside an ICP test or outside of nitrates and phosphates, so I'm not really concerned about it, at least not for now. So with that, that's about it for the video. I don't want to ramble too long. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or concerns or comments or anything you want to add to the video, feel free to put them in the comment section. If you want to support the channel and what I do here, you can head over to fishofhex.com. We have buy 3, get 1 free on all 3D printed items. And there's always coral sales and all sorts of stuff going on. If you want to sign up to the newsletter or sign up to our website, you'll get those deals and all that kind of stuff. Check it out. And appreciate you. So I'll see you later. All right. Peace.